What's the cringiest way you've seen a guy try to flirt with a girl? My buddies and I decided to go to a hookah lounge on a Saturday night to celebrate our friend Jay's birthday, and he invited his creepy friend D from his hometown. I met the guy briefly once before and never really liked him because he gave weird and cocky vibes. Not long after we arrived, two girls my friend Jay invited showed up. They looked pretty young to be hanging out with a bunch of 30-year-olds, but I assumed they were of age since you needed an ID to get into that lounge. Immediately, D approached one of the girls and started talking to her. She seemed uninterested, but was still nice and friend-zoned him very quickly. The two girls stayed together as the night went on and seemed like they were just there to make some friends. No romantic vibes going on with any of the guys there. From the stories I've heard of D, he sounds like a huge womanizer. He acts very forward with women, a little too forward sometimes, and to me he comes off as creepy rather than charming like he probably thinks he seems. He kept calling the girls over to watch him do hookah smoke tricks and they looked like they couldn't care less. It was pretty funny. About 30 minutes later, I go to sit down at the table where D is smoking. I needed to check my phone really quick, so I sat down and minded my own business. D of course slides over next to me and nudges me with his elbow. I look over at him and he says, "Watch this," with a sinister smirk on his face. The main girl he kept trying to talk to the whole night was standing next to the table talking to her friend with her back to us. D gets up and reaches his hand over towards her butt, and slaps it 3 times. She turned around and looked annoyed, then looked over at D and he winked at her. Her face dropped as she grabbed her friend and stormed out of the lounge. I looked at him with a disgusted look and stood up to get in his face. "What is wrong with you, man? Harassing women is quirky to you." He laughed and blew smoke in my face. "It's not that serious, man. I thought she was into me." I scoffed and said, "Since when was she into you? I've seen her try to friendzone you the whole night." He insisted that the girl was definitely flirting with him. "Even if she was flirting with you, what makes you think the next step would be to slap the ass of some girl you just met? Really, dude?" He rolled his eyes and sat down to continue smoking. He was unbothered and really didn't care that he ruined that girl's night. I told him he should go apologize to her like a man, or I would go out there and apologize for him. He brushed me off and said, "Yeah, whatever, man. Just tell her I'm sorry and would love to take her out to shawarma or something to make up for it." Should I have just knocked him out right there?